What's up, everybody? We are here at Philo where the Electrics have welcomed in John Glenn. Both teams trying to separate themselves in the MVL, and both student sections are rowdy. Stick around to see how the rest of Southeastern Ohio football turned out tonight. Gridiron Glory starts now. There we go. What's good, Gridiron Glory Nation, and welcome to Episode 5. Conference play has officially begun. Each team is trying to separate themselves from the boys down the road, and we have the scoop on every team. In the TVC Ohio, Alexander traveled to Athens. River Valley battled with the Buckeyes. The Trimble Tomcats hosted South Gallia. We saw Waterford play at Eastern. McLean try to keep their momentum going against East Clinton this week, and I went out to find our fan of the week and find out whose student section was more lit, Philo or John Glenn. But tonight, in the TVC Ohio, lead reporter Jacob Murray got to witness the Athens Bulldogs welcome in the Alexander Spartans. And Jacob, since 2010, Athens has outscored the Spartans 429 to 120. Tonight was kind of one of those nights.
Yeah, Joseph, it looked like we were well on our way to that score tonight, even though it's the Bulldogs who have struggled early on in this season. And as for the Spartans, they might be undefeated coming into tonight, but they had a tough test for their first TVC Ohio game of the year. Now, the Bulldogs wanted to win more than just the football game, as senior Kai Smith was named homecoming king tonight. Congrats to him on that. And the Bulldogs are ready to roll in front of their home crowd. Joey Moore connects with Braden Markins for a 34-yard strike to put Athens in great field position. He would fight his way down into the red zone, and Joey Moore would do the rest himself, running it in from 6 yards out to put the Bulldogs up 7-0 with we're only 5 minutes into this game now. Now, Alexander, manned by quarterback Caleb Easley, would try to come back at them, but on a third down, the Bulldogs smashed through the O-line for a big third down stop, forcing a punt. Now, the coaches have been working with Moore on his passing all year long, and the coaching would pay off big time. With 4 minutes left in the first quarter, Moore would drop this dime to Braden Markins again, and he would high-step his way into the end zone for the touchdown, putting up the Bulldogs 14-0. Both teams would stall on the rest of their drives in the first quarter and parts of the second, but the Bulldogs had big plays working all night. As Moore would connect with Braden Halbert for the 41-yard touchdown run, the Bulldogs dominated in the first half, and Alexander would fight, but they would still fall in this one 28-6.
Now finally, Coach Nathan White gets his first win as the head coach of the Athens Bulldog, taking down an undefeated team, and he was able to do that here tonight with the defense.
Look, the Bulldogs have struggled to contain the run and stop big plays all year, but their defense was up to the challenge here tonight. The Bulldogs defense seemed like they were hunting in packs tonight. They were in the ball carrier's grill all night long, even holding down one of the best quarterbacks in the conference to only a few big plays. They forced turnovers at key points, like forcing a fumble when Alexander was knocking on the door of scoring. And even when the Spartans tried to strike, the secondary for the Bulldogs did a nice job defending each pass. They found a way to deliver punishing hits to anyone who dared make a catch over the middle of the field or even close to the sidelines.
Now the Bulldogs came ready to play, but did Alexander put up much of a fight in this one?
The Spartans came into this one undefeated, and they did show why with their big play ability. However, I think the Spartans just ran into a much better and battle-tested team. Caleb Easley had a few nice throws and runs, but he didn't put them together enough to sustain drives. The running game with Jordan Cantrell had its moments, but it was not enough to combat the penalties and lost yardage. Alexander gave up too many big plays on D, and their offense just couldn't capitalize on their chances to score all night. And one quick note, the entire staff here is wishing for a speedy recovery for Alexander senior receiver Michael Kelly, who was injured late in the first half and didn't return.
Yeah, definitely hoping for the best. Thanks for the good work, Jacob. And here is the snap of the week. Shout out to Peyton Stevens for it. Here we got Trimble stud Sawyer Coons with Coach Ferris's grandson. Looking tough. He's got on the helmet. Probably doesn't smell too good, but hey, you can't deny he looks like a middle linebacker ready to knock someone out for the count. Flex on him then, youngin', and keep balling out, Sawyer. Great snap. Thanks, Peyton. We sent a crew out to Eastern to see the Eagles do battle with Waterford. TVC Hawking lead reporter Sam Wiesnith joins me now. And Sam, Waterford was playing pretty tough there in the first half.
Yeah, the Eagles definitely had a tough test against them tonight. Both Waterford and Eastern came into this game off of big losses, and it was clear that they were both trying to get a fresh start this week. The Eastern Eagles marched down the hill and flew onto the field, ready to take on the Waterford Wildcats. But they're off to a shaky start. Connor Ridenauer back to pass. He's sacked by Cole Miller. After 2 unsuccessful drives, the Eagles are forced to punt. Don't blink, you might miss it. It's Miller again. He snags it and takes off. He's got a clear path to the first touchdown of the night. Waterford's up 6-0. Now Blake Newland kicks it into high gear, but he winds up being just 1 yard short of the touchdown, but Steve Fitzgerald will pick it up on the next play. It's 7-6. For Waterford, Holden Daly looks like he's going to get lost in the crowd, but he finds an opening, leaving a flock of Eagles in his dust, running for about 25 yards for a touchdown. It's 12-7. Ridenauer's ready to retaliate, but he is sacked by Miller yet again, having some deja vu. Next play, he's sacked one more time. It's going to be by Joe Pantelitis. Feeling good, the Wildcats are ready to make a move. Zane Heiss is back to pass, but he changes his mind. He's going to get himself in a sticky situation, but he connects with Nick Faust, picking up 46 yards and a touchdown. It's 18-7 at the half, and in the end, Waterford walks away with this one, 24-19.
Yeah, these two teams aren't that far apart in the TVC Hawking standings, but it seemed like Waterford ran away with that in the first half. What made them so dominant early on?
Well, Joe, in the first half, Waterford's defense was really tough for the Eagles to handle. Guys like Cole Miller, Grant McCutcheon, and Joe Pantelitis forced Eastern to turn over the ball pretty quick.
Yeah, Cole Miller really was a force to be reckoned with tonight.
Absolutely. This man was all over the field. He picked up a couple touchdowns and sacked Connor Ridenauer twice in the first half.
What role did penalties have in the game tonight, though?
Both of these teams definitely suffered from the penalty plague, especially in the first half. I'm pretty sure I lost count. A lot of holding calls on both sides, and one against Eastern for assisting the runner. Combined, they lost about 114 yards.
All right, but what do you think tonight's game tells us about the rest of the season for these two teams?
Tonight was definitely tough for these teams. I think Waterford was really trying to shake off last week's loss against Belpre, though we saw a lot of the same trends tonight with incomplete passes. I think moving forward, though, both of these teams face their biggest tests in Week 10. Waterford faces off against Belpre, and Eastern takes on Southern.
Yeah, it looks like both of these teams will have their work cut out for them as the season ends, but for now they just have to sharpen up some of those things. Thanks for the work, Sam. Our tweet of the week goes to the new Lexington Panthers. Before tonight's game, they averaged 52.7 points, which was second best in the entire state of Ohio. The offense ran into some roadblocks tonight against Maysville, but that offense has potential to blow out opponents. The tweet blew up with 21 retweets and 75 likes. Thanks for the tweet, guys. And now TVC Ohio reporter Ethan Sands was at the Nelsonville-York River Valley game, and the Buckeyes now lead the all-time series 15-2. Ethan, Nelsonville-York's momentum really starting to get going right now.
Well, Joseph, tonight was a make or break for Nelsonville, and time to see if Keegan Wilburn will be the player we all know him to be. All eyes were on him from the jump as he came in 36 yards short of the all-time career record for receiving yards in school history. It's Nelsonville's house, and they were ready to let River Valley hear it. But Jared Reese had other plans. He takes the opening kickoff 90 yards, and he splits 2 defenders, and it's daylight from there. See ya, that's first blood, 6-0 Raiders, but the Buckeyes would not go away. Mikey Seal rolls out and hits Colton Snyder, who slides to the right, crisscross before being brought down. And we know that man, Keegan Wilburn, wanted some action out of the Wildcat formation, breaks out to the right, cuts back left, and that 4.3 40 speed does the rest and jumps the hurdle for the celebration. Keegan takes it again on the next play, and this time gets to show us some moves. Almost gets brought down by this kid, is electric. Shoulder pad out, who cares? Well, the special team squad for the NY surely did. They recover this fumble, and the defense gets another breather. Mikey Steele told me he was tired of the run game, so he did something about it. Throws it to the back of the end zone where only Brandon Phillips can grab it. Sheesh, my guy, heart over height all day, every day.
Yeah, we might be seeing that one a little bit later. The offense put up some crazy numbers tonight. I mean, we knew NY was good, but come on.
When you have 2 players with at least 2 touchdowns apiece, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air, that's a special night.
Well, wait, we know about Keegan being able to put up numbers like that, but who's the other that stands out tonight?
I've been eyeing this kid since I started covering the TVC Ohio. Brandon Phillips. He only had a total of 59 yards, but he made every last one count.
Yeah, all right, well, they may be even an understatement, Ethan, but is Keegan ready to make the transition to MAC conference football?
Well, Joe, tonight he set a new NY record for most career receiving yards while he was there, and the season just started. Plus, Most people thought of him as a running back. He may even be considered a sleeper coming in. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, well, all right, enough offense talk. The defense of NY must have been doing something right.
Joe, we left at halftime. The score was 48-18, and the final score was 51-18. Do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, the Raiders didn't score at all in the second half. Jeez, that's insane.
They made adjustments at half to stop the River Valley run game. That was the only Achilles heel in their defense in the first.
2-2. What do we expect from them the rest of the way?
Like my man Jacob Murray said earlier, the Athens Bulldogs got a win tonight, and all I can say, Joe, is the TVC Ohio is spicing up.
Yeah, now we're going to talk about the team down the road in Gloucester. The Trimble Tomcats are a state championship level team, and they showed why yet again tonight against South Gallia. Trimble went into this game outscoring South Gallia 405-69 since their first matchup in 2010. TVC Hawking reporters Zach Paquette and Michael Roth are now in the film room, and they were there to witness the beatdown.
Joe, we traveled to Gloucester tonight to see the dynamic Tomcat offense in action, where they have been averaging 43 points per game so far this season, and they started off hot, scoring 4 times on their first 6 offensive plays. Trimble's offense came out fired up and ready to go. And look at that here. They're on top of each other's shoulders. And on their second play from scrimmage, Todd Fouts takes the carry and goes untouched 23 yards, 7-0 Trimble early on in the first. Next drive here, Cam Kittle takes the carry up the sideline, 36 yards. Nobody can catch him or touch him. 21-0 Tomcats. Get this man some water. And right there. All right, back to the game. Now it's Connor Wright's turn. He'll make a few guys miss here, and he's good. He's gone. 75 yards. The Wright train has left the station. 28-0 Tomcats still in the first. But the Rebels defense showed some resistance right here as they force a turnover here on the Connor Wright fumble, taking over at their own 23, but it wouldn't be enough as Trimble would run away with it 45-0. And now Trimble's offense is clicking on all cylinders right now. Their offense is in mid-season form, and it's because of players like Connor Wright and Cam Kittle providing the senior leadership for an experienced Trimble squad.
Zach, the Trimble offense might be potent, but what do we know about Trimble? Their ferocious defense. Here comes Trimble, and you see them coming out. They got that swagger. Confident after pitching 3 straight shutouts. After forcing a turnover on the first play of the game, it's Sawyer Coons jumping this pass, and he's taking it all the way to the house for Trimble. That makes it 14-0 Tomcats early in the first. After that, it was mostly Trimble laying the hammer down with some hard hits to prevent the Rebels from ever really moving the football. When South Gallia then tried passing the football, they had some minimal success, with Trimble just really tackling them and not giving them any room to move. The Tomcats also got their hands on a fair share of passes, despite not being able to come down with that interception. We see here the Trimble mascot is hyped, and why wouldn't he be for this impressive defensive performance? On the South Gallia side, they struggled with negative plays and turnovers, but did find some success rushing the football. Everybody knows how hard it is to score on Trimble. They still haven't even allowed a point all season. Look for South Gallia to try and bounce back in Week 5 offensively when they host Eastern in another TVC Hawking matchup. On the Trimble side, their goal is to continue to shut out every opponent, which at this point is still a reality.
Yeah, guys, it seems like Trimble is showing no signs of slowing down, that is for sure. It will be exciting to follow how long this shutout streak will last. Will it last the whole season? We'll be there following it the whole way. Thanks, guys. We have seen some big-time action so far tonight. Tutty scored, crowd silencing hits, and long runs. But how do those plays start? With the Lineman. Yep, you guessed it, it's back. Lineman love, baby. This week we get to break down some plays from New Lexington's matchup against Morgan and Nelsonville-York playing against Bern Union.
We have the New Lexington Panthers on defense against the Morgan Raiders. Morgan quarterback Lucas Waters rolling right, looking for anything but the throw, gets picked by New Lex QB and DB Logan Ratliff, but let's slow it down real quick. Let's see what really happened and see how New Lex got the easy interception. Waters rolling right, and already he is seeing the defensive aggression by the D-line running him down, along with Christian Vance chasing after him to try and get the sack. Vance avoids the block, gets a hand on Waters, but doesn't bring him down, but it's all good because then comes in senior Clayton Hinkle with the helmet in the chest to throw Waters off his rhythm and force the short throw for Ratliff to show off the bunnies and take it back into the red zone. Job done by the boys up front means the easy pick for the DBs in the back. New Lexington dominated Morgan up front all night, but this play is more of a finesse play rather than a power play, so look at this. Number 50, junior Jacob Danielson with the bounce to get up and gets his hands up as well. He gets a deflection, keeps his eye on the ball, and it is an interception by his teammate. New Lex gets the ball back, big time play, and the big boys showing off the athleticism. Slowing it down, Danielson keeps his eye on the ball. 6'6" DN Braden Agristi, who plays wide receiver also, and you can see why with the hands he plays both ways. And lastly, we have sophomore Nelsonville-York Buckeye Tucker Levering. The D lineman avoids the blockers from Bern Union, gets his claws on the running back, and drags him down for the big loss. And look here, he avoids the down block, avoids number 7 coming down 2. He is thinking C-ball, hit ball, and that is what he does, and that is some Lineman love.
Now, we sent FAC lead reporter Will Collins out to McLean tonight, but due to technical difficulties, we couldn't get the video in. So make sure to catch it all on YouTube, WOUB PBS, to see what he saw tonight in Greenfield. McLean got the loss, but it's okay. Will, we appreciate the work you put in. Again, if you want to see that, go to our online content. It will be there. Now, this week, I went out to Philo to find out who our fan of the week is. But Philo hosted John Glenn, who is also in our coverage, which means I had 2 fan sections to choose from. Our fan of the week was tough to choose, I'm not going to lie. Both crowds were loud, they were shouting, they were rowdy the whole time we were there. But one fan showed off his pride a little more than the others did.
If you aren't cheering, go sit with your That's a good one. How does it feel being the biggest fan?
Yeah, I don't know.
Touchdown, Muskies!
All right, I got some questions for you. I got a question for you. Oh, jeez, there's so much stuff here. I got you. I see the handprint there. I got you. Do you think that you are Philo's biggest fan?
Probably not.
Probably not? Okay. Probably that. Do you think you're Philo's biggest fan? I would say you got the design and stuff.
I love you, Mom.
He loves you. No one understands the tall people problems. Everyone,
Yeah, I wish I was tall. No, you don't.
No, you don't. That was a catch.
And you got to duck through every doorway you walk through, so that's not fun. It hurts your back, actually.
You fan of the week? Hey, we won't steal from the little kids. Hello. Oh, jeez. Hello. We're here with Philo. Hey, one of the biggest fans here. What's your name? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, why do you think that you are Philo's biggest fan? We're here at Philo in the student section. Now, this fan of the week, he's soft-spoken, but he's rowdy. He has probably one of the best signs I've seen in a while, and he loves his mother. Here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
You're the fan of the week, baby. There's your shirt. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. You gotta show the other way. There we go.
Yeah, those fans were great. They were rowdy. They were loud. It was a lot of fun to be there. I wasn't expecting both student sections to be so into it, but they were, and it was so much fun. Thank you to all the fans that were there. The fans were great, but the play on the field was even better. We were really excited for this matchup. This game is filled with top talent. Casey Munyon, Hunter Adolph, Evan Williams, Reese Perkins. Here it is, the Philo Electrics versus the John Glenn Little Muskies. What a video. Shout out to Paul Roth, our very own, for that sick video. We were really pumped for this game, and that video just shows exactly what we were looking for. Well, geez, how can you not get excited after that? This was a big-time matchup between the two very solid MVL teams, Philo and John Glenn. So let's dive right into it and find out who came out on top. Joining me now is MVL lead reporter Paul Roth, who was in Philo to catch all the action go down.
Yeah, first, Joe, I just got to thank you for that shout-out. I worked very hard on that.
No, you deserve it. You deserve it. The video was sick. You deserve it.
No, but I've been excited for this game all week, Joe. As soon as I found out I was going out there, I was into it. Both these teams haven't had the start to the season they were hoping for, meaning this was a near must-win game for both squads. Now let's go down to the field. We got to check out this Philo student section. They knew we were coming, and these kids showed up for it. Now midway through the first, John Glenn with the ball, Evan Williams fires it over the middle, and Reese Perkins is there to pull it down, and he's looking for more. Gets the huge block from Colt Emerson, and the Little Muskies are on the board first, 7-0. Now next drive for Philo, and Hunter Adolph looks to throw, but it's picked off by Brady Emerson, an incredible one-handed snag. I don't know how he held on to that one, but it sets up at Philo's 10. And a couple plays later, Williams finds Perkins again, fade route this time, and that'll make it 14-0 John Glenn. Now Philo trying to get back into it. Adolph, he's going to drop back and hit Owen Smith off to the left, and he gets rocked, but somehow holds onto it. However, the Electrics would punt. Then next, John Glenn drive. Williams rolls out right and finds who other than Score Perkins. I mean, the guy's name is Score. He was bound to find the end zone at some point, 21-0. And Philo needing a big play. Casey Munyon sweep to the right, cuts it back upfield, shakes off a hit. He's a tough dude. He can do that. Before he's eventually taken down, a 28-yard pickup. Then facing a 4th and goal, the Electrics go play action, and Adolph slings it to Zach Giannatino, who somehow hangs onto it for the score, but John Glenn would hang on to win it 21-17.
Score Perkins, that's a top 5 name in our coverage.
Oh, I mean, dude's an animal.
Well, so John Glenn picks up their second win on the season. A huge win for them because Philo, not an easy place to play. That's a pretty tough environment there.
Oh, on the road, that's tough for any team. And then that environment in Philo, insane there. The fans were out rocking from the beginning. You know, they were impressive. Now, John Glenn was impressive from the very first snap, though. They established their offense, and they played their brand of football.
Yeah, so what did you see that made the ultimate difference? Because it was still a very close game.
Yeah, you know, Joe, well, it was the Little Muskies defense that I thought really gave them the edge. Now, they knew coming into this one that Philo's biggest threat was Casey Munyon. The dude's a GGPOY, that's right, Gridiron Glory Player of the Year candidate. So what they did was pack the box and made sure to get in the backfield before he got any room to make something happen. Now, they did give up over 300 yards to Philo's offense. You know, that's not great. But as soon as the Electrics hit the red zone, that's when they decided to bear down. They got the stops that they needed, and as you saw, you know, they had the pick in the highlights.
Yeah, well, the Little Muskies put up 21 points as well. What was the offense looking like?
Yeah, so while they were shaky in the second half, you know, they didn't score. They did put up 21 in the first half, and they did it quick too. And really, that's because they controlled the tempo. John Glenn, they run the football. And I mean, they really run the football. That's their identity. They're going to do 3 clouds and a cloud of dust. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, excuse me. They were able to establish early that they were going to bust it up the middle, and the Electrics were just going to have to take hit after hit after hit. And then once they got the defense to fear the run, you know, that opened up the passing lanes for Evan Williams, who, you know, he only threw 10 passes, but he only had 95 yards through the air. But I mean, the man threw 3 tutties, so I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about that.
Yeah, you want to lull him to sleep. Have the run game, set that up, and then hit the deep play, hit the deep throw. Really get that defense struggling to figure out what they want to do.
Oh, and they did it perfectly, too. I mean, as you saw, he only had 5 completions, but 3 of them for touchdowns.
That's pretty good.
They strategically used the pass because they lulled him to sleep with that run, and then boom, right when they least expected it.
Yeah, run-heavy team, though, still, but they can take advantage of those opportunities. Yeah, John Glenn gave up a lot of yards to that potent Philo offense, as you said, but as we know, the only numbers that matter are the ones on the scoreboard that end up at the end. And tonight, they were the Little Muskies. Now, I got to get out of here to end the show. Our show is only 30 minutes long, but our social media content is infinite. Go to woub.org/gridiron to see our written recaps and our feature stories of the games we were at. And on your mobile device, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and add us on Snapchat for more fun football content. Follow me on Twitter at GGHostJoseph. We're implementing the Joe Zone, where we will have midweek power rankings and previews of the upcoming games. So don't miss out on that, and make sure to use the hashtag GridGlory to follow up to date everything we are doing here. Unfortunately, we do not have sound effects we can throw up right now for this next segment, but that's okay because it's one of the most fun segments we have. It's Top play time. Let's get to it. We got some good ones tonight to see, so stick around to see who takes the throne for our best play in our coverage. At number 5, here is Braden Halbert for Athens. He's on defense with the hit stick on the Alexander wide receiver right here. That's some good timing, and that's a big hit. Nice play, Braden. Number 4, we're going to go to Nelsonville-York with Mikey Seal. He's going to roll left, doesn't have anything, turns to his right, throws it across his body, and all the way to the end zone to Brandon Phillips with the ups. What a play. And number 3, Cam Kittle showing off the cannon to Austin Weiser for the 47-yard strike in the first quarter to really set the tone early. Nice toss, Cam, and nice hands, Austin. Number 2, here's Waterford's Zane Heiss with the Johnny Manziel Baker Mayfield-esque improv. Starts rolling to his right, steps up, then makes it to the right again, then throws it to the wide open wide receiver for the easy tutty. Big play for them. Number 2. And number 1, Philo, looking to get the offense moving, but Brady Emerson, he says, he snags it off the Philo helmet, takes it back 28 yards to get the Little Muskies into scoring position. That was awesome, and that is why it is our number 1 play of the night. Week 4 is in the books. Week 5 brings new challenges, and we will be there to see it. We're pumped to be at these games next week. Here is where you can find Gridiron Glory crews next week. Vinton County is trying to get the ball rolling in the positive direction when they travel to Athens. The Bulldogs and Joey Moore show what they can do and that they are still the top dogs in the Ohio after their win over Alexander tonight. Vinton County trying to go for their 3rd win. Going to be a good matchup. We will be there for sure. Then we are going to go to Wahama to see the Federal Hawking Lancers take on the White Falcons. Federal Hawking trying to get that 2nd win of the year. We have to go to that one. Wahama, we haven't seen them yet this season, so we're ready to go to that one and see how they play in person. Federal Hawking is trying to create that culture there, and we recognize the work they are putting in, so we're going to show up to that one for sure. Chillicothe, 1-3, is going to Logan, who is 0-4. They're going to battle. This is going to be a tough game. The Chieftains viewers we have here are ready to see us go there, and we want to watch their team, so we're going to be there. And Chillicothe and the Cavaliers, they're just trying to get things moving in the right direction. Last year was such a good season for them. They're off to a slow start, but it shouldn't be too much. Logan's going to be a good matchup. And here we go. West Muskegum host the MVL powerhouse Sheridan. The Generals are looking good so far this season, and we will be there for that game. We're excited to see how it all shapes out next week. Sheridan, going for 4-1. Conference play is the gauntlet of the season. This is where we see the teams start to separate themselves and solidify their name around town. We're going to be there to witness it all. But hey, always remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory. You bring glory, we report it. And I have to say this, I reached out to my sister to see if she can give me some creativity a little bit, but my brother-in-law told me I have to say this, so may the glory continue to each of you tonight. I didn't want to say it, but he made me do it. So see you next week, same time, same place. And remember, there is nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory. Stick with us. We're going to your games. We're excited to see these games. We want to see all the talent that Southeastern Ohio has to offer. It's going to be exciting. We're pumped. We're ready to be there. You bring glory, and we report it. See you next time. Same place. Let's go.